fellow Star Wars nerds, and welcome to Unlimited Content, the podcast where two brothers talk about all of Star Wars film and TV in chronological order on the internet as an excuse to hang out more. We're your hosts, Sam and Jack, and this week we're talking about the Clone Wars Season 4, Episodes 1 through 3, Water Wars, Gungan Attack, and Prisoners. Jack!
Sam!
How are you?
I'm good. We're in Season 4. That's exciting.
Yeah, wow!
Honestly, the fact that this is episode 45 of the podcast. We've made it to Season 4 of the Clone Wars. That is nuts to me.
It is
that
wild.
We've gotten this far.
I know. We've been doing this for over a year.
I'm very proud of us. Yeah, over a year. Man, we got to do something special for episode 50. We do something.
Not the 50! Yeah, what is episode 50? Now I'm curious. It's the weird slave arc.
Is that the one with the cat lady? Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's where Ahsoka gets sold off into slavery. It's right after Umbara. Yay!
It'll be a lighthearted break from the Umbara arc.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean it
will.
Anything is a lighthearted break from the Pong Krell arc.
Yes. Yeah. He's the worst. The literal worst. You know what's almost as bad as Pong Krell?
Tell me, Sam.
Bills.
You're right. Almost as bad as Not quite, but it's pretty bad.
Pretty darn bad.
Man, I wish we had something we could do about that, but I mean...
Do we? Do we?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good. You got me scared for a second. I'm like, we're gonna crumble into financial insolvency. It's not gonna be good.
This week's episode is brought to you by financial insolvency.
No!
I'm sure we have a sponsor if you give me 10 seconds to think of one. Hold on.
This isn't going as planned.
Shh, nothing to see here. This week's episode of Unlimited Content is brought to you by microfiber cloths.
Ooh.
You know why? They're good.
Keeping them lenses clean.
Yes. And it's not just because I saw a microfiber cloth sitting on my desk just now. There's a genuine, I carry around a microfiber cloth with me everywhere now, just because, I used to, clean my, whenever my glasses got, smudged up or whatever, I would just, wipe it on my shirt, but, it's just not, ever since I started, regularly using a microfiber cloth, every time I, think to use my shirt, I'm like, oh, this is gross, actually. It does not, it doesn't work well.
It does not work.
And, yeah. So then, yeah, it's helpful for my glasses, but it's also helpful for just, any of the other tech that I have around. I have one at work that I use for my my monitor at work, and I can use it on my phone or my Steam Deck or whatever. And it's just nice to have. Just very quick and easy. Keep it in my pocket. It's good.
That's nice.
I enjoy a good microfiber cloth.
Real nice.
The one I have right here is orange.
It's orange. It's real orange.
Yep.
That's good. Well, thank you
to our sponsor.
Thank you, microfiber cloths.
The concept of microfiber cloths for sponsoring this episode of Unlimited Content. Sam, what have you been up to? How are you?
I'm good. I have been busy with fun things, which is new for me.
That's cool. That's
I like
fun.
it. Yeah. I've been playing some video games. So I
think this week you have more video games to talk about than I do, which is unprecedented.
How the turns have tabled.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I finished up Animal Well. I don't remember if I mentioned that last week, but I mean,
you told me about.
I got.
I remember, yeah.
I think I got all the eggs, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
That's
just trying to look for more things. That's basically it. Yeah. Everything online says there's more stuff, and you got to do these things. I'm like, I don't. I'm done.
I get that. At a certain point, you're just gonna be like, you know what? I'm satisfied.
Yeah, this is great. It's good. Mm-hmm. There's 4 achievements I haven't unlocked. I'm like, I'll be fine. And then but then I played 2 new games, new to me. You've played them before. The first one I played is a game.
I own them.
Yeah, because I'm just slowly making my way through your Steam library, which is awesome.
Yes.
But the first one that I played was a game called Firewatch.
That's cool.
Which is very, very cool game. Yeah, I was looking at games play, and I'm like, I feel like I've watched Sarah. I've been in the room when Sarah watched Markiplier playing through Firewatch, and I was like, that I mean, I was like, is this a good game? She's like, yeah, I think you really like it. So I played it, and I did really like it. I crushed it in like a day. I think I just
it's a pretty short game.
Yeah. I was like, oh god.
Do you want to explain for
Did you hear that?
folks at home?
There's a big old firework right off my house. Yeah. We're recording this on June 30th, and in my neighborhood, fireworks start June 1st. And the week before 4th of July, it's just all the time loud, big ones in the neighborhood. Yeah, anyway. What were you asking me? I got distracted by a bomb over my house.
It was just... Yeah, you know, that shame on you for getting distracted by the bomb over your house. Come on, Sam.
I know.
I was gonna ask, like, do you want to tell the folks at home what Firewatch is?
Sure. So, Firewatch is a game that the basic premise of the game is you are a dude. Like, it's the game takes place like in like the 80s, and you are married, but your wife has like super early on stage Alzheimer's or dementia or something, and like your marriage is already kind of struggling before that happened, and she gets sent home to live with her family, and you are kind of like looking for a way to kind of just like escape and be by yourself for a while, and you take up a job as working in a Forest Service watchtower, like looking for wildfires out in like the Pacific Northwest, I presume. Is what it looks like.
Yeah. Like that.
And it's just kind of you going through the motions of like being like working as a Firewatch person, and there's like another character that you know from like only via walkie-talkie from like the next watchtower over, and you kind of like develop a relationship of sorts with that lady. But also a murder happens, and you have to try and solve the murder, and you think you're getting like tracked by people, and it's kind of it's like a fun mystery, but kind of just feels like a cozy movie, all kind of at the same time.
Yes,
and it's cool.
It's a great game.
It's very pretty, very pretty game.
Gorgeous. That was the art direction. Like, the art style is amazing.
Yeah, that was like the number one reason I want to play. Is like I just want like a cozy, relaxing, aesthetically pleasing game, and Firewatch was perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Firewatch. It's kind of like it's a little bit Pixar, but it's very sort of like almost painterly, and like just the lighting is beautiful, and the color is it's gorgeous.
It kind of like, I don't know, it kind of like, because I feel like the game takes place like at sunset like all the time. It's just kind of golden hour at all times.
It feels like it's eternally sunset.
Yeah. And so it kind of like, I don't know, like the graphics are like, and like the art style is kind of similar to like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, with that kind of like there's not a lot of like gradients, but it's kind of like a lot of kind of
flat colors.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, but like it's also somehow very beautiful.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's like I wouldn't expect like just like flat, like it kind of looks like it could have been a paint by number thing to be very pretty, but it was very pretty, and I loved it a lot. So I played that game. It was fun.
Excellent. Yeah, we should talk about this off podcast, but
Great.
I'm very curious to know what you thought about the ending of the game.
Great,
because I have strong feelings about Firewatch.
Generally,
I think it's great, but the ending is I have thoughts. So we'll talk about that elsewhere.
Great.
I don't want to spoilers.
It didn't end the way I expected it to.
Yeah.
And it kind of just stopped.
Yes, that's kind of what my problem was.
Great, cool.
It just felt anticlimactic.
That was it.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've read online like other people who love this game, who like, this is kind of a common argument online I see about this game, about like, you know, there's the side of people who are like think that the ending is very anticlimactic and disappointing, and then the other half of people who are like, you just don't get it. It's that's the point. It's supposed to be anticlimactic, and like I get that. I kind of understand what they're going for. We can talk about it in more detail, but like, yeah, I don't know. It didn't vibe. The ending definitely did not vibe with me. But
yeah,
that being said, amazing game. Definitely recommend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Glad you get to play that. That's cool. That's that kind of genre of game that it's kind of colloquially referred to as walking simulators. Is Yeah, it's basically just narrative first-person games where you walk around and talk to people and look at things, and there's usually like a mystery involved or something. There's that, and kind of like a first-person shooter without combat, kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of where I love games of that genre.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
Puzzle mystery kind of fun.
Yes. Gone Home is another one that I would definitely recommend if you liked Firewatch. It's another great one. Gone Home, excellent. Another sort of mystery-driven situation. But yeah. Anyway, and what else did you play, Sam?
So on the other end of the spectrum, I played Batman: Arkham Asylum.
Yes,
very different game. And I'm currently playing it right now. I don't know how far into the game I am, but I put in a lot of hours for me into the game. It's like I put like 10, 12 hours into the game. And
it's a lot of hours for you, except when it comes to like Zelda. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it's like oh yeah, I put 300 hours into Tears of the Kingdom or whatever. And
yeah, I am curious how many hours I put into Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. I don't know.
I think it's like I think you can go to like your profile page on the Switch and it tells you like at least approximately how many hours you put into each game, like play activity or something.
Oh, there we go. Found it. Yeah. So Tears of the Kingdom. So played 185 hours or more. Breath of the Wild, 300 hours or more. Yeah. So, okay, there it is. Great.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond Zelda stuff, this is a significant amount of time for you to put into a game.
It is.
Yeah.
It
beyond
is.
Zelda or Pokemon.
Yes. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was after like my first night playing it, I like texted you about it, and I described it, and you said this was a pretty decent description of the game, but it like feels like and sounds like Batman the Animated Series because it has like all of like the voice actors or most of them.
Yes, Mark Hamill comes back as the Joker. Kevin Conroy comes back as Batman.
Yeah, and I mean I know I think it's a different. I think it's the original Harley Quinn is voicing Harley Quinn in the game. I think
it's actually a different. I think it's Tara Strong who's
okay.
I was like, because I knew Tara Strong's voiced her in a lot of different things. Yeah,
I knew because I heard Tara Strong elsewhere in other like characters and stuff.
Yes, she's. I think she's the most common voice of Harley Quinn these days. Yeah. She's not the original voice actor, but she's like the kind of carrier of the torch. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, it was kind of like. It sounds and feels like Batman the Animated Series, looks like a gritty Batman movie, and plays like a Zelda game with more fighting. Like with like the puzzles and like dungeons and maps and items and upgrading items and
Yes, you get all sorts of gadgets, you get to explore the map and I've also heard it kind of described as sort of like a Metroidvania also. It's similar sort of vein, you know? Because you unlock abilities and expand to new areas and stuff. But I love those games. Those are some of my favorite games are the Rocksteady Batman games.
Yeah, the one like the random thing that I didn't feel like I liked it at first, but now it's like really grown on me about the game is all the random Scarecrow scenes. Where it's just like
the weird like stealth.
Yeah, it's like a random. It's like a pop up mini game that you have to play, and it's just like it's the basic way that the game goes is so like you walk into a room and then you like start acting weird, like you're like drugged or something, and then it kind of goes into this weird kind of walking cutscene of like something like it's Scarecrow, so it's like feeding on Batman or Bruce Wayne's fears, and so like sometimes it like. You're replaying like when his parents got shot and like when he was orphaned or like other kind of similar scenes. And then it goes into this like little 2D side scroller mini game of sorts where you're just trying to hide from a giant Scarecrow trying to see you. And you're like walking along this kind of like, it's all like, it's all of the same graphics as the rest of the game, but it's kind of like a 2D side scroller platformer jumping up and down over things and ducking behind stuff, hiding from the glowing eyes of Scarecrow who's trying to like stab you with his syringe hands.
Yes, his fun syringe hands.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is kind of dumb. And I was like, oh no, actually this is like, it's kind of cool and very straightforward. And I like it. It's just another like random little puzzle that just kind of pops up. I'm like, oh, get to do another one of these. This is fun. Yeah. So, but it's also it can be a very stressful game. Because it's just like, I don't know it's been a long time since I've like wanted to like punch my screen while like playing a game. But like every time you die, like either the Joker or Harley Quinn like comes on the screen and like makes fun of you and calls you stupid. I'm
They
like,
taunt you.
I was like,
It's
like
great.
let me skip this. I'm so mad.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. And that's in every one of the Arkham games. They keep
Oh,
that in the whole
no.
series.
Oh
It's
man.
great.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
So that's So but the basic the storyline of the game is that you've just captured Joker. You take him to Arkham Asylum, and then he immediately escapes and takes over Arkham Asylum. And now you're just like trapped in Arkham with the Joker, trying to
and a bunch of other fun villains.
and like all the major Batman villains are there.
Yeah.
Like I think I've seen everybody but Penguin and Two-Face. Like everyone's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just a while ago started replaying it on my Steam Deck just because it's such a great game. It's been a while since I played the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing game. Just all around. Definitely like a very influential game, and definitely like still to this day one of the best superhero games ever made.
It's a lot
that
of
whole
fun.
series in general, but like love that. The sequel is also great, Batman Arkham City, which is basically it's Arkham Asylum again, except it's a lot bigger, and it's like an open it's basically the premise of Arkham City is that like part of Gotham City gets cordoned off into a giant prison, basically,
wow.
and Batman gets trapped inside of it. And so basically it's a big open world where you get to explore this huge chunk of Gotham, and there's prisoners everywhere, and like
So it's just the same thing
cool.
but bigger and looks a little and like is in a
Yes.
city instead of like on a creepy island.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
It's super cool. And then there's Arkham Origins, which was it's a prequel and not made by the same studio, but it's basically just another Arkham game, and it's cool because it's like earlier in Batman's career, and it takes place on Christmas, which is kind of cool. It's like you're in Gotham on Christmas.
I like that.
And then the last game is Batman Arkham Knight, which is a full-on like you explore all of Gotham game, and also you get the Batmobile, which also turns into a tank, and it's
Yes.
it's nuts.
Yeah.
I have played Arkham Knight not more than any other game, but it's among my like top 5 most played games. I 100%ed that game 3 times.
Wow.
That game like has some mixed opinions from some people are some people don't like the Batmobile stuff, and some people think it's too big or bloated or whatever, but I don't know. I played it at the right time in my life, and I just ended up was like, this is great. I love this world.
Yep.
I love the vibe. I love Batman. I love being Batman. And then I played it 3 times. So I'm sure I'll play it again eventually, but
Love that.
Yeah.
But you said
Anyway,
my computer
yeah, I
probably
love
can't
those
handle that game.
yeah, no, Arkham Knight like was when it came out in 2015, and
Okay.
at the time it was like really hard to run on PCs. Like it had PC performance problems. It can run now, but like it's still like an intensive game. Like it was like bleeding edge graphics in 2015, and it still looks really, really good. It's not like, there are definitely better looking games now in terms of like just fidelity and
Sure.
like, or in terms of like, but
Yeah. And like
your PC probably can't run it.
Yeah.
I guess. So I'm saying,
yeah. I mean I bought it to do like engineering stuff, so it can maybe, but probably not.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, who
Yeah,
knows?
I
I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah.
We'll find out.
But yeah, I mean the graphics in Arkham Asylum are good. The only like
Oh yeah, definitely.
the only thing that's bad is like the lip reading, or like whatever, like the like mouths don't match up with the words at all whenever it's talking. It was like this just looks really bad.
Yeah, it's very,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very just kind of generic mouth moving while
Mhm.
there's talking.
But all the performances are great, and so
Oh yeah,
so
no,
forth.
the voice acting is
Yeah.
great. It's so much fun.
Yes.
Yep. Those are the video games I've been playing. I also started listening to a new audiobook, a new Star Wars audiobook. New to me.
Ooh.
Probably not new, but it's a canon Star Wars book called Doctor Aphra. Jack, are you familiar with Doctor Aphra?
I'm familiar with the character. I've read some of. I think I read like the first volume of her comic series. I think
Okay.
that's where she originated, was in
Yeah.
comics. I think.
So this is basically a novelization of the comic run about Doctor Aphra.
Cool.
With a full voice cast and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Doctor Aphra, I think it takes place during Return of the Jedi. I
Okay.
think. Or it's either during Return. It's post New Hope, but I'm not entirely sure exactly when.
It's original trilogy era.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like the timeline's a little confusing because like Boba Fett is hunting down Luke Skywalker.
Yes, Doctor Aphra is a canon audio drama written by Sarah Kuhn. Let's see, it takes place. Hold on, Maz Kanata's in this.
Yeah, in like the first chapter.
That's neat.
It was neat.
I'm trying to find where it takes place. Gosh dang, I can't find. Hold on.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Here somewhere.
I also haven't like watched the original trilogy. Like,
it says 0 ABY, so it's like during A New Hope, basically.
Well, it would be immediately after New Hope.
Or yeah,
because
it's
because basically like Vader is trying to track down the boy who blew up the Death Star and doesn't know who it is yet. And Boba Fett like tells him like his name's Skywalker. And so yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so the character of Doctor Aphra, Jack, so you've read the comics. What do you think about the character of Doctor Aphra?
It's been a long while since I've read. I read like the first volume, or I read the first volume and also like read her introduction in the Vader comics. Okay. I think is where she was first introduced technically.
Great.
I just remember she's like a cool like engineer lady with a weird murder robot or something. That's all I remember.
Yeah. So she's kind of like a chatty lesbian Indiana Jones in Star Wars.
Rad. I like that.
That's so like she is an archaeologist, historian, professor. Like that's like she has a PhD. That's why she's a doctor. She's not like a medical doctor. She's like she teaches history at some university somewhere, but then goes and like basically like steals ancient artifacts and sells them, but also like learns all about them and like knows how to get into all sorts of places and stuff. And she gets hired by Darth Vader to track down stuff for him.
That's
because right now, like
you just stating that premise, I'm like, geez, I really need to go back and read these. That's so cool.
Yeah. So, so the premise itself is cool. The execution in the audiobook, I just find her very annoying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I don't know, it's just very like smart and full of herself, and like annoying to Vader and also annoying to me. But I'm gonna finish it because it's like only 6 hours long audiobook, and I'm like more than halfway through, and I'll probably just put in a couple more hours on Tears of the Kingdom because I'm doing like my third playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom right now.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's probably what I'm gonna do maybe after hang up here. But yeah, it's like it takes place immediately after New Hope because like Vader has he lost the Death Star and is like in the doghouse with the Emperor.
Yeah.
Like he's like
off.
Big trouble. Like he's embarrassed himself to the Emperor and like has had a lot of like responsibility stripped from him and has to like work his way back into the Emperor's good graces. And so like he's basically has minimal resources and is like trying to like make a name for himself in the eyes of the Emperor again. And recruits Dr. Aphra to help do some stuff. And one of the things that they do at the beginning of the book is they go to Geonosis and find a droid factory. But like it's like a weird kind of droid factory. So like Geonosis like at the start, like right after Order 66 and all that, like gets decimated, like wiped out, like
they're
like they
right?
sterilize the planet is like what the book says. But they find a Geonosian queen still alive down there, and she's like basically started making like Geonosian like androids, like half biological, half like droid, and like those are her children.
Yeah.
And
have we met the Geonosian queen in Clone Wars yet?
Yes.
Did we watch that episode already?
We did.
Okay. Yeah.
And
that's the one with the weird like brainworm things.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah, right. Yes. Anyway.
But yeah, and like so Vader sends Dr. Aphra in there with a bunch of other bounty hunters to basically like commandeer the droid army that's also Geonosian, like from this like Geonosian queen, and like that is now like Vader's personal standing army is like half droid, half Geonosians. Like,
oh wow,
yeah, yep,
that's freaky.
Yeah, so it's weird, but good. Weird. Real weird.
Like some good weird Star Wars.
Yeah, good weird Star Wars. But yeah, that's I mean,
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for the Doctor Aphra comic series, and it's talking about her as a character. It says, designed to be the moral inverse of Indiana Jones, the misadventures of her and her eponymous crew are a dark reflection of the adventures of the mainline series heroes.
Yeah.
So she's like anti-Indiana Jones.
She really is.
Kind of. It belongs not in a museum. It belongs with me.
Yeah.
Or whoever wants to buy it from me, probably. I don't know. I haven't
Sorta.
read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
It is cool.
Awesome.
The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, no, it's actually kind of cool. But then every time,
the premise sounds really cool.
Every time Dr. Aphra starts talking and like, but she'll like narrate in this kind of like, it's just like her internal monologue is the narration of the thing. Mm-hmm. It was like, I don't like how you think. It's just like the way that the words come out annoys me. But like the rest of the story is so cool. But yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if you'd enjoy more reading it through the comics.
I probably would. Would.
Less internal monologue, presumably.
I would think so.
Yeah. So.
Yep. Anyway, that's what I've been up to.
Rad.
Yeah.
You said something about a Royals game.
I did go to a Royals game, but that's kind of it. Like I went to a baseball game. It was fun. Yay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rad. Okay, well, let's see. What have I been up to? Video game wise, I'm still kind of playing more of the same. I'm still playing Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. Making my way through that. Definitely enjoying it. I think I realized, like, I feel like I played that a lot growing up, but I don't think I actually made it very far. Because
really?
I'm like 6 hours in. I'm like 6 hours into the game, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen any of this before. Oh. So I'm like, yeah. So it's cool.
I feel like that was one of the games, because like we shared like game cartridges a lot. Yeah. I think that was definitely one of my games, because I beat it a couple times. But I think it was one of my games that I would loan you every once in a while, but I didn't loan it to you a lot.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I have fond memories of just liking it, but
yeah.
You know. So anyway, I'm glad I'm getting back into it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's great. I love the humor. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's so,
Super Mario Muppets. It's great.
Yes, exactly. And the amount of like humor that they get across just through like Mario and Luigi non-speaking, just like doing things, their like expressions and stuff. It's so good. I love it. It's delightful. But yeah, playing that. I am continuing to work on the Guitar Hero guitar to try and get it to work better, because it's like, you know, the strum bar is still kind of weird, and some of the frets kind of press themselves sometimes. And anyway, but to help me with that, so in order to take apart the body of the guitar to work on it, it has 14 screws on the back that you have to unscrew.
Wow.
And so I was like, this got to be a faster way to do this. So a couple days ago on Amazon, I ordered an electric screwdriver. So I got that in the mail today. But it's just a little like, I don't know if you can hear it, but like,
I can't.
No,
Discord's
well,
filtering it out.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's just like,
I can see it spinning.
It spins, and it's got a light on it, which is cool. Yep. And yeah, so I'm hoping that'll speed up the process, and I don't have to like
dear listeners,
14 screws every time I open
Jack is holding up this gray cylinder that looks like a weird vape pen, but is also a screwdriver.
It does look a little bit like a vape pen. but it's got a screwdriver bit
it's got screwdriver bits instead of vape juice.
Vape. Delicious.
Vape juice.
Yeah, so that I just got it, and I just like charged it, so I haven't actually used it yet.
Cool beans.
That's my new fun little gadget.
That is a fun little gadget.
Let's see. What else happened this week? I am working on getting a psychiatrist, because I haven't had a psychiatrist in a few years. And I have needed to. Lately, I've been like, I think I need to talk to somebody about my meds, because I feel like maybe they're losing their effectiveness, or I might just switch to something else or whatever. So working on filling out the very long series of patient history forms and stuff right now. Yeah,
I've heard that's gnarly.
It's like, what is your relationship with religion? Tell us about your relationship with all your family members. What medications have you taken and when? And you know, it's a lot.
Yeah,
very immediately. Yeah, how did it go? Tell us everything. But yeah, so working on that. Here's something that happened. Today,
Here's something.
I have an interesting story for you, Sam.
Yes.
So today I was doing laundry. I know, it
good.
sounds exciting already. I could tell.
I did laundry today, too.
What?
I know!
So yeah, I was doing laundry, and in the laundry room in my apartment complex, there's a shelf near the back of the room that is like a food pantry. So people like leave, boxes of food or canned food or whatever out there, and anybody who needs it will take it. And but the other thing about that is that sometimes people will leave just stuff that they don't want anymore, that they're like, maybe somebody else can get use out of this. So like I've seen like Tupperware, or I've seen like old like toys that I guess kids have grown out of, and parents are just like, here, maybe somebody else could have this, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So occasionally there's just some goodies over there. I haven't gotten anything. I haven't like taken anything because hasn't been anything that I've like needed or wanted. Today, I walked into the laundry room to get my stuff out of the dryer. Looked over at the shelf, and
that's a guitar. That's a
yeah.
That is a Squier Stratocaster. Or like,
yes, it's a Fender Squier Strat. It seems like it's in fine shape. Like it's not.
It looks great.
I don't have an. Yeah, it looks like it's great. Like it needs a little bit of cleaning up, but like I found a guitar today, Sam. I have an electric guitar now.
Oh my gosh!
So I guess I'm gonna learn how to play the guitar.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a big old red Fender Stratocaster. I looked it up because I didn't know anything about this, but like yeah, the Squier series is like Fender's kind of entry level series.
Yes, it's their budget brand.
Guitars.
Yeah, and there's like hardly anything that you can tell the difference of. It's mostly just badging at this point.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's very cool, and like the reviews online seem to be good. They all say like this is the best beginner guitar kind of thing, and it like usually goes for like $250, and I got it by picking it up in my laundry room.
I love that for you, and I'm also very jealous.
It's red.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's like candy apple red. It's like yeah.
I'm so cool with my real guitar and also my fake guitar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that happened like 2 hours ago, and it's just been
wow.
Yeah, I just have a guitar now.
What the heck?
Bam!
Oh man.
Yeah.
I will want to stumble upon a guitar.
An amp of some kind. I would also like to stumble upon an expensive appliance. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my exciting bit of the day.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Just yeah. I'm like, I think it showed up there like while I was doing laundry today. So somebody like dropped it off like in the middle of me doing laundry, and then I came back and it was there. So I like got really lucky. I guess I was the first person that saw it that wanted it. It was like, all right.
What the heck?
So cool.
That's wild.
Yeah, I assume it works because otherwise, why would they put it on the shelf, right? And it looks like it's in good shape, but I haven't tested it because I don't have an amp or anything. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, there is a chance that like maybe like it doesn't keep tune, or it's got some loose wires in it or something. But like those are worst case scenario. You can just take it to a guitar a guitar repair shop, and they can fix it up for you for less than what you would have paid for that guitar. So
true. Yeah. Like, I like Googled this guitar name, and there were a lot of articles being like, or like a lot of like questions on Reddit or whatever, saying like, is this a great, like, is it worth it to buy this? Like, is this a good beginner guitar? And you know, the answers were kind of mixed, but it's like, I got it for free, so as far as I'm concerned, it's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So, yeah.
What the heck?
It's very cool.
Yes,
anyway.
Indeed.
I feel like it's a sign that I need to learn how to play guitar. I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
Try. Yeah.
I mean, Dad learned bass. We just need to form a band now.
Yeah.
All right, Max.
You already know how to play
Max,
guitar.
you need to find a drum set.
Max needs to learn to play drums. Gracie already knows how to play ukulele and kalimba.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
Well, yeah. Mom can sing.
Mom can sing. That's true.
Yeah. Do stuff. We'll be one of those weird family bands that goes on
Yeah.
tours and
while we're matching like pleated slacks and white button-up shirts.
No. Please no. I quit the family.
Oh no.
Right, yeah, that's basically what my week has been. Nothing too exciting, just more the usual, and also a guitar.
Love it.
Yeah.
Man. You know what else is really cool that happened this week? The Acolyte.
Whoa! Yeah, so this week we got episode 5 of The Acolyte,
Oh my god.
which is a big one.
Oh, it's a biggie.
Yeah, this is the episode where we finally like meet the Jedi, sorry, the Sith Master with the
Quote,
guy
unquote.
with the dark teeth. Yeah,
Yeah,
quote,
Smilo
Sith,
Ren.
whatever. Smilo Ren. Yeah, I love that. And it turned out to be Kamir, Jason from The Good Place, that guy, as was suspected by many. And he just murdered so many Jedi.
Oh my gosh. This is like maybe the coolest like lightsaber duel I've ever seen in live action.
It's so cool. It's so like interesting and different in a lot of ways. It's like, because the way he fights is very like brutal, and like, you know, he like takes like swings with his fist and like his elbows and stuff as much as he uses his lightsaber. And there's like it never like got stale. It was like every time he did a different every time somebody did a different like lightsaber move or something in this fight, it was like a different interesting thing. It's like, they didn't do that before. And it's varied and it's cool, and it's very well choreographed, and just and there's that one part where he like stabs one Jedi and then force pulls another Jedi onto the same lightsaber, so they're like shish kebabbed.
Yeah.
And he's got those cool gauntlets that like can deflect lightsabers.
Yeah,
and
made of cortosis. We learned this week.
Cortosis.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing that we all definitely knew before
material
that.
I did not know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his helmet, and he had 2 gauntlets made of cortosis. So cortosis, according to Star Wars' Instagram page, is a metal that can absorb a crazy amount of energy, and like whenever it gets hit by a lightsaber, short circuits the lightsaber for a short amount of time. Basically like disabling a lightsaber for like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah. So yeah, they I think they also described it as like, it's like Beskar in that it's like lightsaber resistant, but it's much more brittle than Beskar, so it can like kind of break apart more easily.
Yeah.
Basically, which we see when like his helmet breaks apart.
Yeah, which explains why his helmet already looks really like Kintsugi, like it's kind of like it's all well, it's like welded
rebuilt
back together so many times. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was nuts.
It was wild. And then we kind of left on this big, weird, like, freaky cliffhanger of, like, May and Osha switched places.
Yeah, Osha's knocked out, and May took her clothes and is like, sneaking along with Master Soul.
Yep.
To, like,
and Master Soul is the only Jedi that survived. Like,
yes.
We lost Jeki and Yord.
Yord got his neck
snapped. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, holy crap.
Yeah, in the arms
I'm so
of
sorry
an
I was
angel.
ever mean to you, Yord. Where's Sarah McLachlan when you need her, really?
Come on, Sarah McLachlan.
Why don't you join the podcast, Sarah McLachlan, so you can sing that every time?
She's too busy, like, saving sad puppies. That's probably what she's doing right now.
Yeah, probably.
Filming another ASPCA commercial.
Yeah, Yord got his neck snapped. Jeki had, I think, probably the coolest, like of all the Jedi, she had the most cool stuff to do, and she like had just such a cool lightsaber fight, and she like ended up dual wielding at one point, like, which like clearly like throws Kamir off for a second.
Yeah,
because he like doesn't expect it, and she's like holding her own the whole time, and it's such a cool combat sequence. And then it's so good. Jeki is so cool, and then she gets stabbed 3 times.
She gets 3-hole punch
through the chest. 3-hole punch. Oh no. Yeah, so that's a bummer. Like, what a cool fight. What a cool just sequence of fights and stuff.
Was wild.
It's amazing. Yeah. What a like, yeah. That episode was mostly just like fight, and then some like, you know, dramatic monologues and like mysterious foreshadowing and you know, obviously the big reveal of who it is.
Yep.
Yeah. gosh, yeah, I'm very. We've got 3 episodes left still, so I'm looking forward to seeing where the show goes from here, because I feel like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, it feels very like what's left to happen. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what May's plan is, and I don't know. Is Kamir gonna be like? Is he gonna be alive by the end of the show? Because if not, then presumably there would be like a season 2 or something. But I don't know.
And how does Kamir tie into like? Because we know this is gonna like the whole like a lot of the Acolyte ostensibly like is supposed to lead into the prequels and how a Sith Lord was able to take over the Republic. Like that's kind of like where this is the first domino that's set up, right? Yeah. And so how does this tie into Darth Sidious? Does this tie into Darth Plagueis at all? Like, was Darth Plagueis actually Darth Sidious' master? Like, we presumably, but like, it's never actually really confirmed. It's just like it's a tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Like, we just it's a story. Yeah. But like, it's like heavily implied that it's so. Anyway, I don't like. Where does this fit in? How old is Palpatine? Like, could this be his master? Or is like this is Master's master? Or is this like, or is he like actually the first Ren, like of the Knights of Ren? Because
that's another theory. Because he looks very Knights of Ren-ish. Yeah.
And Kylo Ren's theme plays over him at least once. So
really?
Yeah. Like when he at the end of the episode, when he's like force healing Osha, who has been swapped with May, Kylo Ren's theme plays over that scene. So
interesting.
And like Kylo Ren is not actually a Sith; he's just a dark side user, technically.
Yeah, and maybe that's the parallel. Is that like he said, because at when he's like kind of introducing himself, Kamir's like some may call me a Sith or something like that, but he never says like I am a Sith Lord. He's like he's a dark side Force user, but he like doesn't commit to the idea of like I'm a Sith, which he could be, but also he could just be kind of another a renegade sort of dark side Force user. Like I don't know, and also like we don't know if like is he the top of the chain or does he have a master?
Yeah, does he answer to somebody? Because he's a young guy. Like at least he seems young. He's definitely like super in shape. So like I don't know.
He's jacked. Yeah,
he is jacked.
He's Kylo Ren jacked. He's got an 8-pack.
Just giant chest.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. Because like I don't know, like he could be like not a Sith, but also I feel like so much of like Star Wars storytelling is like there's not as much smoke and mirrors as like we think there is, but it rarely goes the way we expect it to. Like it's usually like straightforward, but not in the way you expect. Is kind of how a lot of like Star Wars, like the plot goes. Because like I don't know, like because I know like when we've talked about like Ahsoka and the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, like we're like wondering like where's this gonna go? What is this gonna lead? Is this gonna be bringing this like one thing from Legends? Is this gonna be like this, that, or the other thing? And it's usually just like no, it's just like really simple storytelling, but like in a way that we didn't expect it to play out. And so, like, even if we see it coming...
In other words, our prediction... Yeah. Our predictions are usually wrong.
Our predictions are usually wrong, but also, like, even if you see it coming, it never happens the way you expect it to. Like, we all expected Kamir to be the Smilo Ren. We all expected that. To be Darth Teeth. But we were still surprised, and, like, it was still an amazing reveal when it happened. And I don't know, like... I feel like Star Wars is never is always a little on the nose. And so I feel, and like, if this is about like how the Sith infiltrated, it's not how dark side users infiltrated like the Republic, it's how the Sith wound up being in charge. Right? Because the Sith have been extinct for over a millennium.
To be fair.
Right? Like, right? Like, the Sith have been extinct for so long, but like, some call me Sith, but like, maybe that's because he is one. Or like, other people just don't have a name for what that is. Like, I don't know.
Indeed. It all remains to be seen, definitely.
Yeah, and by the time this comes out, we'll know. Or we won't.
Yeah, maybe the show will end and they'll just be like, you know what? No, we're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Go read a comic book. That'll explain it.
Read some books.
Read some books. Well, yeah. So, the Acolyte, super cool.
Yes.
Very excited to see where it goes from here. One other thing I did just think of, that's Star Wars related, they're revealing a bunch of new Lego sets for like the 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars, something like that.
Yeah, but it's also the Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy something. It's like Lego Star Wars What If thing.
Yes. So there's a couple Lego sets that I think they like revealed officially this week. One of them is a like Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy set that is it's like the X-Wing and TIE Fighter, but then you can like swap their wings so they're like mixed and matched, which is cool. And then there's another one that is like the Dark Millennium Falcon that comes with the Darth Jar Jar figure. Yeah. Which is amazing.
And Darth Ray, like Dark Ray.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah. And then, but those are super cool, but the one I'm honestly most excited for is not it's not that. It's a droid set. It's basically it's a Lego set where you can build 4 different droids and then mix and match their parts, and also it comes with hats and accessories for the droids. No way! And it looks adorable and amazing. Yeah. I posted in the memes and junk chat.
You did, but I didn't see that it was like mix and matchable or that it came with accessories. I just saw that it was like a set with 4 droids. That's cool.
Yes. I'm very
because it's R2, it's Chopper, it's R2KT, and one other droid.
And it's like a dark like evil droid or something. Yeah.
I wonder if it's the one from the droid arc from Clone Wars.
If the evil, well, then the evil one is like this one's like black. Like the one from the droid arc was like normal looking.
It was black and yellow.
I don't think he was black. He was white and he maybe had some black on it, but he wasn't like anyway. Doesn't matter. Point is, actually, hold on.
I'm looking it up.
No, I'm sending it to you. Hold on. Well, I'm sending you the image that's important to me.
I'm looking at the droid arc thing. That's what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
What did you send me? What is it? Not in this chat. Wrong chat. Dang it. This isn't going as planned. Oh, there it is. He's got like a rubber ducky thing. That's so fun.
You can give him a rubber ducky. You can give him a hat. You can give him glasses. You can give him a bow tie.
It's got an Indiana Jones hat. That's like a Perry the Platypus hat. That's awesome. Yeah. I love it.
A platypus? R2D2 with a platypus. Yeah, so that makes me very happy, and I'm definitely gonna get that because that's just so fun and silly, and I love it.
Okay, I'm looking at Duel of the Droids from the Droid arc. The name of the droid. No, it's R3S6, which is not the same.
Yeah. This one is R5J2.
Who is R5J2? Let's look this up.
I don't know.
I'm doing it.
Look it up.
I am.
Give it. Also, it comes with a little minifigure of young Princess Leia and a little mini Lola.
Lola.
Lola. Lola. Do you think that Lola was named after the song Lola, which the song Yoda was based on? The answer is no, because Lola's actually based on, I think, like Carrie Fisher's.
I think it's Carrie Fisher's
cat
dog,
or
right?
Dog or something. Yeah.
All right. R5J2.
Not her current one, but her childhood dog.
Yeah. R5J2 was an Imperial R5 unit who served aboard the Death Star 2.
Oh. So yeah, it's an evil one.
Yeah.
What did I tell you?
Evil.
Evil. Every villain is lemons.
Otherwise known as evil.
Evil. All right, well that's what's going on in Star Wars is the Acolyte and fun Lego stuff.
Much fun, much Lego.
Much fun, good Lego times. Yay.
Yeah. Well, shall we proceed?
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Where does this arc take place in the timeline, Sam?
20 BBY.
Yay!
Yay, 20. All right. The first episode that we'll be covering is the season premiere of season 4, titled Water War. The moral is, when destiny calls, the chosen have no choice. Personal offense. Water Wars! Tensions run high on the ocean world of Mon Calamari, where two separate peoples, the aggressive squid-like Quarren and their peaceful neighbor, the Mon Calamari, struggle to maintain a fragile coexistence. Adding to the strife, the king of Mon Calamari has been found mysteriously murdered, leaving his young son, Prince Lee Char, to guide his people alone. But while the Quarren race will not accept the new leader as their king, Senator Amidala and her Jedi bodyguard have arrived to help resolve the matter and to avoid plunging the planet into civil war. All right.
This is a fun, exciting arc.
It is a fun arc.
Good.
It's fun.
Good start to the season.
Yes. After the assassination of King Kalina of Mon Cala, the fragile peace between the Mon Cala and the Quarren, I love how they're just named the Quarren, like a quarrel. Anyway, begins to collapse, centering on the argument that the king's son, Prince Lee Char, as he himself feels, is too young and inexperienced to maintain the tenuous coexistence between the two races. Riff Tamson, the ambassador of the Separatists, who's just like a shark dude.
I love that the one Separatist guy is he's the one shark guy.
Yeah,
like
he's just like,
as if it wasn't clear that he was the bad guy.
Yeah,
right?
like the predator in the room. Yeah. He heats up the argument even further.
Friends,
well, yeah, he gives Bruce. It's very Bruce-like. Like
it's very Bruce, but without the restraint.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to it. He's a very weird character. I love him. I love Riff Tamson. While Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker, sent by the Republic to mediate between the parties, are helpless to intervene. The Quarren leave the Mon Calamari Council Hall, even though the Quarren chieftain, Nasor Ree, expresses genuine respect for the dead king to Lee Char before he leaves. Fearing that a civil war between the two races is imminent, the Jedi High Council dispatches a company of clone troopers equipped with for underwater combat under the command of Kit Fisto and Ahsoka Tano, while Lee Char and his military commander, Captain Gial Ackbar, there he is, try to rally their people. We got Ackbar. Ackbar is here.
Yes, first appearance of later Admiral Ackbar.
Yep.
Love him.
And he doesn't quite say it's a trap, but he says something similar later on in the episode.
He says it's something.
Yeah. And then something, it was great.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Quarren have long since prepared for war, even before the failure of negotiations, and they attack without forewarning, taking the Mon Cala by surprise. I think at this episode, right before the attack, the prince was like, I'm going to trust that they won't attack. It's going to be fine. And then he immediately attack.
That scene is so funny because he says, I trust that they won't attack us. And then literally the next line is one of them saying attack. He was like, it was perfect.
It was awesome. I loved it. Where we? All right. Anakin and Padme fight side by side with the Mon Cala, but with the Separatist reinforcements of AQ series battle droids, the battle already seems lost. Fortunately, the Republic reinforcements arrive and the tide is turned, albeit with heavy losses. During the struggle, Tamson himself launches fierce assaults on the prince, who is being guarded by Ahsoka, attempting to kill him and dispatching aqua droids into the city's tube system when Lee Char seeks its protection, all of whom Ahsoka manages to destroy. After several assaults on the tube containing Lee Char and Ahsoka by Tamson, the intervention of clone scuba troopers prevents Tamson from reaching the helpless prince. In the aftermath of the Republic attack, the Separatists and the Quarren are forced to temporarily retreat the besieged capital and regroup, allowing the Republic and Mon Cala forces to time to plan a new strategy. Eventually, the Quarren return, but with a horrible secret weapon, Hydroid Medusas, gigantic jellyfish cyborgs with electrified tentacles from Tanson's homeworld of Karkaris? I'm going to say Karkaris.
Yeah.
Which,
that's right.
Yeah, which prove resistant to the Mon Cala's hand weapons. Outmatched and their numbers decimated, the Republic forces are forced to retreat to a set of caves near the city. In the meantime, Count Dooku orders Tamsin to round up the captive Mon Cala population to work in internment camps, effectively reducing them to slavery, an announcement which startles Ree and causes him to protest, to no avail. Back in the caves, Lee Char begins to despair over the situation and his own inexperience, but Ackbar and Ahsoka do their best to encourage him, reminding him that a true leader knows when to retreat as well as when to attack. The last piece of advice convinces Lee Char that there is still hope in the ongoing battle. End of the first episode.
Yay.
Yay.
That's cool. Couple things from the continuity section.
Yes.
So the line that Ackbar says is, "It's an attack."
There it is.
I think that's when they first attack. He's like, "It's an attack." Yeah.
Yep.
Which is great. Also, this is funny. Lee Char's name was a reference to the mascot of Star-Kissed Tuna, Charlie the Tuna. It's Lee Char is Charlie. His name's Charlie. Oh, it's awesome.
I love it. Did you see the next thing in the continuity about Kit Fisto?
No. Kit Fisto's gunship artwork features his likeness on the warhead of a cartoon bomb, with Aurebesh writing that said, "Service with a smile," a reference to his famous grin in Attack of the Clones.
I love it.
The smile that can light up the room.
Yes.
Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto.
Which, by the way, this is the arc where we get to see shirtless Kit Fisto underwater.
Oh, yeah.
Fighting with a lightsaber.
It's
so good.
It's so great. Love it.
him. He's my favorite.
We love Kit Fisto.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
another thing.
Right.
One of the... I just wanted to note, Anakin in his scuba suit looks like Buzz Lightyear.
He does.
he's got the
weird head
like
sock
a hood
thing.
over him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his head sock and he's got a spherical dome over his head. He looks very... He's got the chin and everything, so he looks very Buzz Lightyear.
He does look very Buzz Lightyear. I love... Was it Riff Tamlin? Is that his name? Riff Tamsin. Yeah.
Tamsin, yeah.
The Shark Man. Anytime he speaks or yells, he will just, or in attacks, he just, whenever his mouth is wide open in an attack, he just screams. There's this weird roar. It's like, "Ah!" It's very...
he'll shout, but then also layered over his words is a weird shark roar.
Yeah.
I mean, sharks don't roar, but still.
What? They don't? Yeah, but he definitely he attacks like a shark. He bit down on some clones and just did kind of the death roll, thrashes with his head and he's scary, but also just very cartoonish. I love it.
A cartoonish villain, but also genuinely menacing and cool, and yeah, I think he's great.
Great character design. I feel like Riff Tamsin is a reference. The name feels like a reference to something.
It sounds like was it Biff Tannen? Is that his name from Back to the Future?
Yeah, it does kind of sound like that.
Let's see. No, there's nothing in the trivia section of his page about that. Anyway, okay. Well, I guess it's time to move on to part 2 of the arc. Gungan attack. The moral of this episode is: only through fire is a strong sword forged.
But they're underwater.
Shut up. Independent defense. A government's toppled by civil war. Refusing to accept Prince Lee Char as the next ruler of Mon Cala, the Quarren people join the Separatist Alliance and launch an all-out attack on the Mon Calamari. Caught unprepared, the young prince and his Jedi protectors are quickly overwhelmed and forced to retreat in the caves far below the capital city, leaving Count Dooku and his allies to plan their next move. With but the tiniest fighting strength left to operate and only a brief time to tell the Jedi High Council about their predicament before communication is cut off, Anakin Skywalker, Padme Amidala, Ahsoka, Kit Fisto, and Captain Gial Ackbar decide to get Prince Lee Char and Mon Cala Senator Mina Tills to their ship and out of the system to safety. Fisto manages to overpower a Quarren patrol and appropriate a couple of vehicles to get the fugitives to the surface quickly. However, Riff Tamsin has anticipated that move and blows the ship up before the Jedi and Mon Cala can even reach the surface. Clinging onto the sinking debris, the fugitives allow themselves to be dragged down to the seabed, where they split up into 2 groups. Anakin goes with Padme, Ackbar, and Tills, while Ahsoka and Fisto accompany the prince, along with 2 rescued clone scuba troopers. Expecting Republic reinforcements to come here soon, Anakin and his group proceed to the Mon Cala Central Planetary Scanner Facility, where Anakin uses the Force to collapse the entire structure, rendering planetary defenses blind. Which is such a cool moment.
It's
just
really
like
cool.
just by sheer force of will, he like takes down an entire building and it just falls over.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It just goes to show how crazy strong
Anakin
is.
Wild.
Yeah. In the meantime, Lee Char witnesses from his hiding place how his people are led away into slavery. Desperate to aid them, but advised by Ahsoka to exercise caution in favor of recklessness, Lee Char uses a seashell horn to inform his people that he is still alive and encourages them to hold on.
All hail the magic conch.
All hail the magic conch shell. In the meantime, the Jedi Council is faced with the fact that they will have the clone force ready and equipped for underwater battle in time to aid the fugitives. Then Obi-Wan suggests asking the Gungans on Naboo, since they are amphibious creatures. With Jar Jar Binks' fervent support, the Gungan High Council agrees to help at once and sends the Gungan Grand Army to Mon Cala just in time to render valuable aid to the fugitives. This is a cool, there's a couple cool things here. One is, or it's just funny that when, Yoda calls the Gungans, and he's talking to, the leader of the Gungans or whatever, and he's like, can you help us? Can you help Padme? She's on this planet and she's in danger. And the Gungan leader's like, I gotta think about it for a second. And then Jar Jar standing next to him is like, no, we don't think about it. We gotta save her. She helped us, so we gotta help her. And then immediately the guy's like, yep, thinking time over. Yep, let's go. Which was great.
I love the Gungans.
Yes. And then there's, honestly, one of my favorite shots from this arc is just when this Republic cruiser shows up and, drifts over the ocean, opens up, and then, dozens of Gungans all, swan dive out of it into the ocean. It's just such a cool moment. Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome.
And then they immediately take out, the big ol', jellyfish, robots.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With their,
They're using their little, electro ball things.
Yeah, the blue electro balls from the Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. They have a name. They say... Is it a boober? A boom?
A boomby. I think it's a boomby.
Something like that.
I'll figure it out. You keep reading.
Okay.
I'm going to figure it out.
Okay. Alright. Tamsin, however, quickly rallies his own forces and uses his Trident ships to create artificial whirlpools at the 2 battle sites. Those are the big squid subs that we loved.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah, Max. I assume you're listening. No. Okay, whatever. Disorienting the Jedi and Gungan forces and thus facilitating their capture. Tamsin himself goes after the prince once more, but Kit Fisto manages to engage him in close combat for long enough to allow Lee Char and Ahsoka to escape. As their friends are led into captivity, Lee Char begins to despair over their loss and that only he and Ahsoka are left to fight on. The young Padawan gently advises him, however, not to give in to his doubts and fear, and re-encouraged, Lee Char vows to bring an end to this war before he and Ahsoka retreat to a new hiding place. End of episode 2. So yeah, this is a cool episode because we get some I feel like the first episode is mostly set up, and then the second episode we get some really cool action sequences.
Yeah,
a lot of really cool underwater action. I think that the best of it happens in the third episode probably, but this episode is really cool. We get all the Gungans showing up is super cool. I think it's maybe in the first episode, but there's a moment where Ahsoka is I think defending the prince, and there's a bunch of droids nearby, and she does this cool spin through the water while holding both her lightsabers and takes out 5 droids at once, and it's just such a cool it just makes a really cool sound effect, and it's just I don't know. That's so cool.
There was some cool sound design in this episode because obviously it's not going to sound exactly like it does out of water. So there were definitely some choices that were made to kind of make it feel like it was underwater, and it did it well.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Indeed. Any word on the boobers or whatever?
The boobers. I'm looking. I'm on my 3rd Wikipedia page. All right.
They're called boomas.
Boomas? How did you get that so fast?
I just googled Gungan bombs. And it came up. Boomas, also known as boomers, energy balls, or Gungan grenades, were spherical grenade-like energy weapons used by the Gungans.
Dang it.
Boomas. There we go.
Boomas.
All right,
All
time
right.
for episode
Anyway.
3, Sam.
Yeah. The moral of this episode, which is called Prisoners, is called Crowns Are Inherited, Kingdoms Are Earned.
I like that.
It's
It's succinct and good.
a last gasp of hope. After the assassination of his father and the fall of the kingdom beneath a planetary civil war, Mon Cala Prince Lee Char has gone into hiding with Padawan Ahsoka Tano as his only protector. With his armies captured and friends imprisoned, the situation seems hopeless for the prince. Count Dooku commands his sinister agent, Riff Tamsin, to use any means necessary to bring Prince Lee Char out of hiding, for he knows that hope does remain as long as the prince is alive. Yeah, this episode does talk a lot about just kind of like hope and kind of like weaponizing hope.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Yay. Yeah.
I wonder if
there is a moment. I don't remember if it's in this episode or the episode before, but there's the moment where like Dooku like explicitly says like we can't let them know that the prince is alive because it gives them hope, and we can't let them.
I think it's this episode.
Yeah.
Or the end of the last one.
Something like that.
But yeah. Anyway, Anakin Skywalker, Padme Amidala, Kit Fisto, and Representative Jar Jar Binks are brought before Riff Tamsin, who imprisons them with droids and Mon Calamari eels, the shrieking eels, and begins to...
The moment when Kit Fisto's like, oh, eels, those aren't good. He's just like... Those are, he's like, oh, eels, dangerous.
Someone just like, they're like, oh, yep, like, that's cool. Bad.
Thanks, Kit Fisto.
These are the shrieking eels. And begins to question them about the whereabouts of Prince Lee Char. AQ series battle droids search far and wide, forcing Lee Char and Ahsoka to keep on moving. In order to restore the peace between the Mon Calamari and the Quarren, the prince decides to free the prisoners, whose numbers would overpower their captors, and draw the Quarren back to their side. For this purpose, Lee Char and Ahsoka Tano follow a column of prisoners to an underwater cave used as a prison camp, where Lee Char addresses his people to restore their courage. But an Aqua droid spots them, and they are surrounded by the guards, but Lee Char demands an audience with their commanders, which is granted. Meanwhile, Nasser Ree expresses his growing doubts about this war and the planned eradication of the prince to Count Dooku, and has to learn, to his consternation, that Tamsin has brought his own troops to garrison the occupied city instead of allowing the Quarren to rebuild. Tamsin returns to interrogate the prisoners and attempts to force them to talk by biting a tiny hole into Padme's helmet, allowing her suit to fill up with water. But then he learns that Lee Char has been apprehended and orders the droid troops to take him and Ahsoka to the Mon Calamari throne room, where he, as he gloats to a startled Ree, would receive the prince as the planet's new ruler, per an agreement between himself and Dooku. However, Lee Char denounces him face to face, boldly challenging Tamsin's claim of leadership over both Mon Calamari and Quarren, and appeals to Nasser Ree's friendship with his late father and the tense but respectful relationship the Mon Calamari and the Quarren had enjoyed under his rule. Spiteful, Tamsin orders the prince to be publicly executed.
Fun.
As soon as Tamsin and Ree have left, Anakin and Fisto remove the water from Padme's helmet by forming an air pocket around it with the Force. They're shocked by the eels and unable to maintain their concentration, but this gives Jar Jar the moment he needs to use his mucus to seal the puncture. He just hocks a loogie on her face, saving her from drowning. Shortly afterward, the prisoners are all taken to witness the prince's execution, but as the preparations are underway, Ree, who has finally had a change of heart, secretly communicates his people's support to Ackbar. At the critical moment, Ree saves Lee Char and the Quarren, Mon Cala, Jedi, Gungans, and clones unite under the prince, engaging the separatist droid forces in battle. Lee Char prevents Tamsin, who cruelly confesses to being the one who killed his father, from fleeing, engages him, and kills him with one of his own explosive knives. After restoring the peace, Lee Char, now recognized by both Mon Calamari and Quarren, is crowned the new king. End of the arc. Those explosive knives. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they're like these little like mines basically that like have a little knife on the end that you stab
like
into
a little
somebody.
Harpoon, like
head. Yeah, and you stab it into somebody and it sticks to them and then it blows up. And like at one point, the Shark Man, whatever his name is, like
blows up like 6 Gungans.
Yeah, he like just swims past 6 Gungans and stabs each of them with one of these, and then they all blow up behind.
And like you see, like it's just like a cloud of chunks of Gungan.
Yeah, it's so
and then like the same
messed
thing
up.
happens. It's just like these like amorphous blobs, but they're like solid blobs. They're like, oh, those are chunks of person.
Flesh fun. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I did see on the Wikipedia page for Riff Tampson, it says that like the way he dies in the end is explicitly inspired by the way that Jaws dies in Jaws, which is that, like, because in Jaws he like has the like an air canister in his mouth, and the guy and somebody shoots the air canister and it blows him up. So it's like the same thing because in this one, yeah, because Lee Char like shoots the little knife grenade thing on his chest and blows him up, and then we see his head drift by. We literally see his head, like his skull,
I know,
like just drifting. It was like that's kind of dark for this show. I mean, like,
yeah,
that's gruesome, but it was great. I loved it.
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of explosions, this is getting picked up in the recording, but there is a lot of fireworks going on over my house right now. You can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're loud and a lot, like right over.
They're celebrating the crowning of Lee Char as the new king.
They are. They're doing it.
They're doing it.
They're doing it. All right, Jack. Did you have a favorite part of this arc?
I mean, it's a great arc.
It is
a lot of great moments. I mean, the moment that, like, I don't know if it's the best moment, but just the moment that sticks with me the most visually is the moment when all the Gungans show up and like swan dive out of the ship, because it's like the way that they frame it and everything. You really get a sense for like the distance to which they dive down like a few hundred feet to the water.
Oh yeah,
and it's like just a huge like cloud of Gungans basically like all diving down at once, and they show up and it's like, I don't know. I also just like any time when, like, you know, friends come in to help save the day. Like, oh, we've got backup. We have friends. They're here to save us. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I love that sort of moment.
Yeah.
Man,
it was also like, how can we get all the water species in one episode at once?
Honestly, yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yep.
What about you, Sam?
I like that too, but also, I don't know. Just all the scenes with Kid Fisto. Kid Fisto was great.
Yes. Anytime Kid Fisto smiles, anytime we see his beautiful chest, anytime we see his tentacle hair as he swims around.
It was so cool. Kid Fisto is like
beautiful fish man.
I think the coolest looking Jedi.
He's so cool.
Kid Fisto.
He's the best. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
Just the only Jedi that we see in this that can breathe underwater on his own. He doesn't need the suit or anything. He's just shirtless and he's going au natural.
Yeah. He wears even less clothes than he normally does when he swims.
Yeah. Exactly.
So other than Kid Fisto, Jack, who's your MVP for this episode?
I mean, I feel like it's gotta be Lee Char, right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He's the one who, he rallies the cause. He puts his life on the line. He saves the day. He kills the bad guy. He becomes king. Like, yeah.
He does the stuff. Great. It's great.
He does all the things.
Yep.
This is not an MVP nomination, but I just want to again point out how badass Padme is. That, like, she's a senator, but she's literally in the middle of a battle in a war. Like,
yeah.
She's holding her own. She has like a blaster with her, and like, again, like, she's not a soldier or like a Jedi. She's a politician, and she's like, what a badass.
Yeah. She's a politician. She's from royalty. Like,
yeah.
There's no reason she should be this good at what she's doing.
And yet, she holds her own because she's that awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, Lee Char.
Yep. All right. I don't think we have any main character kills or limbs or Wilhelm screams. There might have been some.
Technically, Riff Tampson loses all of his limbs.
He does, but it wasn't at the hands of a main character, and he himself wasn't a main character either. Therefore, doesn't count for the stats.
Well, I don't think that's. I think it's more just that it doesn't get like sliced off. I think we count anytime somebody loses like a limb.
Right. But it's like usually a clean slice.
Yes, exactly.
It's been a real
It definitely
slice.
doesn't count. It's just for that reason. Yeah.
Anyway. Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Jack, more Star Wars is better Star Wars. How does this arc make the movies and shows better Star Wars?
Shirtless Kit Fisto.
Obviously.
We get introduced Yeah, that's it. We get introduced to Ackbar, which is great.
Yes.
I think just the fact that we get introduced to like, we get to know like the Mon Calamari species, and like I think this is the first. I mean, definitely in like film and TV, it's the first time we've been to Mon Cala in canon, which is cool. We get to see like this is only the second like underwater world we've seen, because the first one, is the Gungan world on Naboo, and now we get to see this, and it's just, I don't know, it's just cool.
Yep.
Like the fact that we get to see all this, like I think also the fact that we see underwater clone troopers, like that's cool. Like that's the first time we've seen that
for the clone troopers.
Yeah, like we're just the cool scuba armor, and they've got like flippers and
they look
like
so
cool.
They look like scout troopers from like the original trilogy,
Return of the Jedi,
but more militarized. Like they look just like they kind of look like mech suit versions of those. They're really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I love that. Yeah, just all the like the cool like underwater tech. Like it's a new battlefront that we haven't seen before. It's underwater, and see all these cool suits and tech and cool things.
Yep. We also met the Quarren for the first time in this episode.
True.
I think the first time. And they come back in the Mandalorian. There's like, remember I think it was like the season premiere of one of like either season 2 or 3, Mandalorian, where there's like a romance between a Mon Cala and a Quarren. Like,
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. I just remember seeing Quarren on screen. I'm like, oh, we saw that in the Mandalorian, and like remembering it from that.
I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, that's cool.
Yep. So that was cool.
Yeah, we got our octopus people and our squid people. This is the Splatoon episode.
It is the Splatoon episode.
The Mandalorian. They appear in literally the first episode. And then they appear in the Heiress, which is chapter. They appear in a bunch. There's a bunch of them.
Oh, they're in a lot. This is not the first time.
Yeah, they're in a lot of things. Yeah,
we've seen them several times. I just didn't notice.
Yeah. It looks like there's a like, in one of the episodes there's an inn that is frequented by both Mon Calamari and Quarren. So
I see.
Yeah.
Also, I think there are Quarren senators as well, which is probably where we've seen.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yay, Star Wars.
Indeed. Well, Jack.
Well, Sam.
We do have a voice email.
What?
From a certain
voice email?
From a certain Jason.
What?
Indeed.
Hi, I'm going to modify a quote from The Office to apply here. But if I had a gun with 2 bullets and I were in a room with, I don't know, let's just say Darth Sidious, somehow Dolores Umbridge, or if we want to, if it's Star Wars, we can replace that with Jabba the Hutt. And Pong Krell, I would shoot Pong Krell twice. That's your daily reminder that Pong Krell is the worst.
Thank you, Jason.
That is, as soon as he started the joke, I was like, I know where this is going. Thank you, Jason. Truly, we still haven't gotten to that. Like, yeah.
We're still 2
hyping up this
away.
arc for our audience, yeah.
We're still 2 episodes away from the Pong Krell arc. And yet. That will span 2 episodes of the podcast, the Pong Krell arc.
True. The episodes 48 and 49 of the podcast will both be about the worst man of all time, Pong Krell.
Pong freaking Krell.
What a great series of episodes, though, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Thank you for calling in, Jason, to remind us how much of a terrible, terrible person Pong Krell is. If you, listener, would like to call in and tell us how terrible Pong Krell is, or, say other stuff, you can leave a voicemail at 512-850-6653, and we might include your voicemail on the podcast. Yeah. There we go. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Brief, but very important. Nonetheless,
Incredibly important. If you guys want to join us next week, we'll be watching just one episode. We're watching the Clone Wars, Season 4, Episode 4, Shadow Warrior. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Oh, it's got Grievous in it.
It's a Grievous episode. I think it's Grievous versus Jar Jar.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes.
The guy who wins things by tripping over himself versus the guy who always runs away. It's gonna be great.
Indeed. It will be great.
Well, thanks for joining me, Sam. This has been
Thank
great.
you,
It's been a good
Jack.
time. It's been swell. It's been fun. It's been dandy. It's been spicy.
Ooh, spicy.
It's been spicy.
Spicy.
Don't do it though. Don't do a spice.
I mean, you could.
if it's fun, if
It's
it's
cool
easy
kids
and
are doing
fun. Indeed. Well,
Should we cut the
I
chatter?
guess it's time for us to go. What? Huh?
Should we cut the chatter? I think we should.
I mean, should we?
Ma-
Are we?
All right.
Cut the
Cut
chatter.
the chatter.
Roger. Bye.
All right, cut the chatter. Roger.